Hello and welcome to another edition of Rayjay's World. I'm your host Rayjay, and this evening, I am going to do my review of the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 6. Before we go on, I want to explain my art that I used for this episode, so I can explain what my feelings are and why I feel the way I do about it. Let me share my screen and I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, now let me open. Okay, it says the little guy has a choice. His choice will not anger the fandom menace. Um, Okay, sorry about that. My daughter walked in and kind of interrupted me here. So, what I'm trying to explain here is, this the little guy has a choice. In my opinion, his choice will not anger the fandom menace. Um, Speaking of that, at the end of the episode, Luke Skywalker gives Grogu a choice. Either choose the Mandalorian's chainmail armor and go with the Mandalorian and not learn to be a Jedi with Luke, or choose the lightsaber of Yoda and learn the ways of the Jedi with Luke Skywalker. Now, I kind of have a problem with this idea because this is not the way Luke Skywalker usually is. He he actually was one of those ones that, um, if we remember, Empire Strikes Back, he had a feeling that his friends were in danger, and he left Yoda's side to go to help his friends out. And when they were searching for Han Solo, um, Luke Skywalker didn't really go back to Yoda until Return of the Jedi, and um, basically he shows up, and before Yoda dies, Yoda says, "You are a Jedi now," and from there, that's what goes on. And if he did that back when he was younger, would he would he put a child like Grogu? Yes, he's 50 years old, but he's still a child. Would he put a child like that through something like that? A child who, if you've seen the episode, he's been through a lot as at the time. He actually saw Jedi get killed by Order 66 He was alive at the time. He saw that happen. He saw a lot of things. Why would Luke put him through that? Put him through. Why this? You know, I love Luke Skywalker and all, but I don't like this choice that he has that Grogu has to make, because it feels like pushing he's pushing the old way of the Jedi, which isn't something that Luke Skywalker is all about. He's not about that. So I say, yeah, he chooses the chainmail, but does that affect Ben Solo coming to him and being trained, being the first student in Luke's academy? I don't think so. But also, if it does lead to the sequel trilogy, I do not think Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will let it be. We won't see. They'll have a lot more Luke Skywalker in that time frame. We'll see more of Luke Skywalker in that time frame to outsmart, to basically give Rian Johnson the middle finger for what he did to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Because Jon Favreau is said to not like that movie. He did not like how Luke Skywalker was treated in that movie. And in my opinion, they're not, if it has to go to the sequel trilogy, they more than likely Jon Favreau will basically put up his middle finger to Rian Johnson, say, you get this, but you know what? We're gonna show the younger generation the true Luke Skywalker. So that's just my opinion on that. But I give the episode a 10 out of 10 altogether, because it was really good, and we got to see Luke Skywalker. We got to see everything, and I feel that the way this was gonna go, it has to go a certain way. And I know that a lot of us in the Fandom Menace are fearing that it's gonna go to the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy will not be erased, and we are gonna deal with that. But in all reality, I would rather deal with that than have to hear any more about a Kathleen Kennedy versus Favloni civil war going on. Because in all truthfulness, I actually think she was determined to do what she wanted to do, and she kept herself at Lucasfilm for a reason. And I'm hoping Bob Chapek does not allow her to get control of Star Wars again. I hope that the show does get the series that Favloni is trying to do does work up into making the new generations know what Luke Skywalker was really like. I actually think that if they can't erase the sequel trilogy, they darn well are going to let the future generations know that that know the real Luke Skywalker, the one that everyone who who grew up in the from in the world of the original trilogy, like me, who was 3 years old when he saw Star Wars Return of the Jedi and saw Luke defeat the Emperor with the help of his father. The truth is, I actually think that John Favreau is going, if he has to, if it's going to lead directly to the sequel trilogy, it's going to have to go. He's going to have to make the world know the real Luke Skywalker, and he has 30 years to do it. And why not? Why not give Ryan Johnson the proverbial middle finger and say, "You messed up with our heroes. Well, we're gonna tell you where to stick it." So I know, like Boba Fett was like only in one episode, but from the time of episode 5 and so on, I've been feeling like um that I'm starting to see um Favloni's plan here. I actually feel that this will all lead up to a movie. Now, it's not going to be the Rogue Squadron movie that they're trying to make. I actually think it's the Taika Waititi movie. Now the Taika Waititi movie, some of us in the Fandom Menace are not too thrilled with Taika Waititi at this moment, but in my opinion, um, Taika Waititi is basically John Fav, because he worked on the first season of Mandalorian. He is connected to John Favreau and Dave Filoni in a certain way, and it's like Bryce Dallas Howard. So I actually think that his planned movie for the Star Wars universe will be the Favloni verse movie. I actually think Favreau and Filoni are trying to work up into getting the series to go into a movie form. And you know what? Maybe a movie form of The Mandalorian with Grogu will be the biggest movie for Star Wars ever, in my opinion. Now, you may you may disagree with me, and I understand. I wholeheartedly understand. But I kind of feel like, you know, if you're not going to erase the sequel trilogy, you might as well figure something out. Now, what I think they're going to figure out is they are going to lead this to something bigger than, as I said, it's going to be the Taika Waititi movie. I know I'm talking around in circles. That's what I usually do in these streams because I don't have that many people watching me, but um yeah, and I actually feel that you know, yeah, Boba Fett didn't work out the way we were hoping. Like the first 3 episodes or so were just, gosh darn it, slow. And I don't blame anyone who feels that it is slow, but I feel that in my mind it is it's very it's not that bad, you know. And I actually think that I see where they're trying to point this to. Like Netflix and its Marvel universe with Daredevil, Punisher, um, Jessica Jones, and all that, it led to a team up series on Netflix. I think it'll lead to a team up series or a team up movie, which I'm thinking is the Taika Waititi thing. Um, but we shall see. I kind of feel like that um that I don't know how to explain it in uncertain terms, but I feel like Star Wars needs a revamp, and it looks like Favoloni is gonna do it. Um, we shall see what happens with Lucasfilm in the meantime. Um, but I kind of feel like um, John Favreau wants to bring his special effects into Star Wars, which he's doing with the TV shows. Now, that Taika Waititi movie, he could be making a deal. I actually think the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie that what's his name do the 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 third Ant-Man and the Wasp movie that's going to use that technology. I think that's Favreau's test to see if they can um, move that to the big screen. Um, because in all truthfulness, um, you can only keep bunch of series going on Disney Plus for so long that it's devoted to a movie series that everyone knows is a movie. So Favreau has to know, hey, we gotta make bring Mando to the big screen once we get a chance. You know, I I don't know, but you know, I don't know. Just Boba Fett really irked me at the beginning. They should have tried harder with it. I don't know what they were thinking. Some rumors like Cameron Pasha on here says that it may have to do with the Disney Civil War, and Kathy Kennedy had her hands in the series and wouldn't let go, and John Favreau was trying to push her off and all this other stuff, and that's what may have ruined it. But you know, I don't know how this is going to end up. And by episode 7, we'll probably know how it'll all end up. I kind of feel like the fandom is not going to. A lot of people I've been hearing from, like Coach and Nick from Star Wars from Echo Base Network, are saying that that Grogu's going to pick the armor, as I said in at the beginning of this. Grogu's gonna pick the armor, and we're gonna go back to the sequel trilogy. And as I mentioned before, I actually think we will be going back to the sequel trilogy if we have to. If Favoloni decides like Doomcock um, has been reporting, which is rumor still, if if they're deciding, hey, you know what, um, we're gonna erase the sequel trilogy. It doesn't matter. If they decide that, then okay. But if they can't erase it, which I actually have a feeling that's what's going to happen, they cannot erase it. They would want to, but they can't. And as I said, Jon Favreau is going to bring more of Luke Skywalker. I actually think if it goes directly to the sequel trilogy, we're going to get a lot more Luke Skywalker than we've been getting. I actually think he might be in the Ahsoka show a lot more than we've been seeing too. Um because I actually think if it goes to the sequel trilogy, you know, Jon Favreau has no problem with J.J. Abrams. I kind of didn't like what he did with Rise of Skywalker. I was Force Awakens was okay, but Rise of Skywalker, but still, I kind of feel like, um, how shall I say it? The one who caused the most issue with that sequel trilogy was Rian Johnson, and I feel that the only way that the one that Favreau would really want to give the middle finger to is Rian Johnson. Basically, let's say in an episode he has Luke say, you know, throwing a lightsaber away is you're just you're just nuts and crazy and you don't know any better. And whoever thinks that, and probably in the future I'm going to do that. And if I do that, I'm nuts, I'm crazy, I'm a weirdo. And the world needs to know that I will be that weirdo. That's just my opinion on it, and I actually think that Filoni and Favreau are not gonna disappoint anybody. I don't think they want to disappoint anybody, and I know deep down that um that um the sequel, if we get the sequel trilogy, I I personally feel that JJ and or not JJ, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are gonna say, you know what, that's their thing. Yeah, we're gonna lead to that, but you know what? We're gonna make the original three look better in our world. And the moment episode the moment we get to 30 years later, yeah, I actually think that if Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau try harder, they could actually change it to a point um where uh um they could make it where we all forget about the sequel trilogy. Yeah, the sequel trilogy is over here, but you know what? We totally forget about it. Basically, like what they did with yeah, it's not going to be totally like completely like what they did with Legends or whatever it's called, the EU extended universe with Star Wars, but there's a lot of people that when they turned extended universe into Legends, people just threw their extended universe books out and said, "Oh, I totally forget about this. Let's forget about this. Let's forget about that." And everything like that. And I actually think with this move by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they're gonna make it where we forget about the sequel trilogy, just like some people have started forgetting about the Legends. Yeah, Legends is not part of canon, and sequel trilogy will be part of canon. But you know what? Um, you have a young kid who's turning on Disney Plus and watching baby Grogu on screen. Are they gonna want to know what happened to Luke Skywalker years later? Are they gonna want to know about Rey? Are they gonna want to know about Kylo Ren? They'll be more interested in um in Grogu and Ahsoka and Mando and probably Boba Fett, even though he's probably just going to become a minor character in this whole thing later on. But I kind of think that you know what? Yeah. And another thing, I kind of want to talk about the Luke Skywalker um thing. I could tell a difference compared to season 2 of The Mandalorian and this. It looked more like the YouTuber that they hired for the deep fakes. The deep fake theater guy that they got from YouTube. It looked more like his doing than what they were trying to do with in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And I actually think that if they hadn't got him on board, they had a lot of, in this episode they had a lot of Luke Skywalker there. They had the a lot of the de-aging technique on through most of the episode. There was a lot of scenes with it. And I actually think that if the rumors are true about a Luke Skywalker series, don't get me wrong, if they're true, they won't have to hire Sebastian Stan to do the character. I actually think they're going to do it with a deepfake. And, you know, Mark Hamill can do voices, and he can easily change his voice to a more younger tone, so it wouldn't hurt. And you know what? Compared to what, even if they are erasing the sequel trilogy, in my mind, Luke needs to be redeemed in some way, shape, or form. And you know what? It wouldn't hurt to give him his own series to redeem him or something. Um. Anyways, well, that's all I've got for today. I haven't had anybody watching this stream for a while, but if you're watching at the very end, thanks. Um anyways, I'm putting something on the screen. Um if you have a chance, join my locals, rayjaysworld.locals.com. Use the promo code capital letters Rayjay 2022 free to get a month free, or just copy the link that you see on the screen. Anyways, this is my little bit of my world. Anyways, I'll be I'm see you next week, and until then, remember, it's my world, but we're just living in it. Peace.